Who is him? He is my grandson. His name is Doruk. And he was just about 7 months old. He is one of the new members of the world. Huh? And we have maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe the millions of the children today we have. You know why? They will live, these kids, our children, in fact you also, we live in incredible world. Because the world has been facing significant and magnificent changes. And changes everywhere. We see high-tech cars, mobile devices, UAVs, robots, supercomputers. Almost all the layers of the society are affected by these changes. The way that business is running is different today, will be significantly different in the future. We are all currently talking about smart cities. We are talking about Industry 4.0 or Society 5.0. See that number of the changes are happening. Despite a strong tendency of changes and high expectations for the universities from the society to create the changes, unfortunately, higher education sector fails to adapt to changes, these changes. This is primarily due to maybe that universities are too rigid and people in academic world, academics, resist these changes. Because of this, universities and industry, the gap between universities and industry is increasing. The universities today is more or less the same as 1,000 years ago, essentially. The way that we transfer the knowledge or deliver the knowledge is more or less the same as 1,000 years ago. Because of this, because of the fact that universities are not meeting to the needs of the society, real needs of the society, we have a number of undesirable statistics today we talk about. Like, for example, young people unemployment, youth employment, say one of the major global issues, one of the important worldwide problems of today. It's almost 13.1%. In some countries, 1 out of 3 university graduates are unemployed. On the other hand, when we look at the picture from the companies or industry perspective, we see very significant skills mismatch. The companies are not able to find or recruit the people with the right skills. Today, worldwide, skill mismatch is around 40%. On the other hand, we have young people unemployment. See that the gap between the industry and the higher education system creates big global issue, big global problem. According to one estimate, 60% of the jobs in the near future will be new ones, not the existing ones. That means my grandson and even some of the students today in our education system will perform the jobs which doesn't exist today. Some of the jobs we are talking about today will disappear, but some new jobs will emerge. Are the universities or the higher education systems ready to cope with these changes? Ready to prepare the students for the future, for the needs of society? We have to do something. By the way, just one example about the young youth unemployment. You see that it's not the problem of our country. It is even one of the major problems of the developed countries. Europe has more or less even the more severe problem than we have. So it's not the issue of underdeveloped or developing countries. It is everybody is global problem. So we have to do something. We have to do something about it. Now, I think what we need to do is we need to change our higher education system. Universities, our higher education system, should be remodeled. We should make a major revision. And this remodeling should be from the core, not by just simply adding, considering some add-ons, technological add-ons, adding some technological tools or something like that. I think that what we need to do is we need to revise the system entirely, and the major revision should be done. And one of the important issues during this remodeling or during the major revision, I think that we need to take into account the 21st century skills that the companies or the industry or the society needs in the future. Critical thinking, creativity, innovation, ICT literacy, or leadership, and many other skills that we are talking about, very, very important, will become very important in the future. To be able to design the future, we must be able to graduate the students in such a way that they pursue their passions. They pursue their dreams. One way of this remodeling process is to change the role of the teachers and the students. First of all, we have to change the education environment from the teaching environment to learning environments. That's what we have to do it. Teaching to learning. In such an environment, in a learning environment, the teachers, or so-called,
instructors will not be the major actor, but they are more supervising, more organizing, developing the environment for the students in which the students can learn by themselves. They develop themselves, just guiding and, referring. That's what we have to do as instructors. In such an environment, the students should move from inactive form to the active form so that they learn by themselves, self-learning, learning by experience, entrepreneurial thinking, innovation, and many other things they have to do together with their colleagues, peer-to-peer learning. That's what we have to do. Well, of course, this doesn't come easy, and this doesn't be realized easily. First of all, we have to change our education system, as I told you before, from the core. The way that we do in the future in our education system should be much different than today. So we have to create an environment in such a way that students can learn by themselves in everywhere, in the field, by themselves, from practitioners, or by doing some design. We have to even let the students to develop their own courses. In some universities, I know students develop their courses. Even they have the tendency to develop their curriculum. You see that? We have to let them to play their roles, major roles. Of course, that doesn't only come with the education. We should also change the research environment. Research shouldn't be only an intellectual exercise in front of the computer or in the laboratories, around the walls. It should be everywhere with the different discipline, the people from the different discipline. It should be done in such a way that we have to create some center of excellences, and the research problem should be taken from the real problems, or coming from the needs of the society. And research shouldn't be an independent thing. It should be somehow blended with education. It should open the doors to the students, undergraduate students, and research should focus on the problem solving. The objective of the research shouldn't be the writing to the paper or the book. The objective of the research should be to solve the problem. The papers, books, or any other documents we produce from the research should be a byproduct of the research activity. It should be done in an integrated manner and by multidisciplinary teams. Research is not a one-person exercise. It should be carried on by the teams, and teams composed of a number of the disciplines to be able to address the society's problem, of course. Because all the problems we face today are very complicated, sophisticated, that require the interdisciplinary team approach. In all those years, maybe in my last 40 years in education sector, We always talk about the teaching and research. We ignore the very important missions of the higher education systems or universities. Societal impact. Third mission. Third mission is usually ignored. I think as a part of the first significant step for educational innovation in this country and in the world, what we need to do is we need to carry out the education and the research activities in such a way that we create maximum impact on society. So the research and the education should be blended in such a way that we create the maximum benefit for the society in terms of technology, in terms of the solution of the problem, or in terms of some contribution to the society needs. Of course, this can be done by new generation and our students graduating from the universities will be doing that, will shape up the future and the world. But they should do it, our students, our kids, my grandson should do it by taking into account some global issues. If we are going to create a better life and better world and improve the society, we have to be also very sensitive and spend really the significant efforts and the time on today's global issues, worldwide issues. That's what we need to do. Thank you.